Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and today I will be talking about France. I got a lot of queries about the French student visa, universities in France, and today I invited a guest from Paris and I will be asking all your questions from him. So let's go to the interview and I will be right back. And today I have Salman Ahmed from Paris, and he is doing his master's in France, and I would like to welcome him to this episode. And Salman, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself, your degree, and your background so that all our viewers can know more about you?
Hello everyone, this is Salman Ahmed. I'm studying in a master's degree program in climate, land use and ecosystem services at Paris-Tech, which is an institute of Université Paris-Saclay. Basically, I have done a master's in environmental science and a bachelor's in environmental science from Pakistan. And I plan to study abroad in 2023. And then I applied for a master's degree here, which is a one-year program. So I would like to guide the audience who is willing to come to France for a study or do some work here.
Yeah. So one of the most common questions which people ask about is it worth it to study in France? Because normally people with English speaking background or countries which are more comfortable with English, they are a bit reluctant to study in France or in French universities. So how is your experience studying in a French university, and what were some challenges which you faced when you came here?
Well, as far as English programs are concerned, there are more than 1,600 English programs available in France. So it's a struggle that if someone finds studying English or language program. So one of the main challenge here is that you cannot find a good English language program because of the limited English proficiency programs. So I would recommend France because it's the fourth largest destination in the world for international students. And I would recommend the public universities in France. If someone wants to study here, he or she should focus on the public universities because they are cheap. Let's say, for example, for a master's degree, it costs 243 euros per year. And for a doctoral studies, it costs 380 euros a year. So it's more cheap than your country. Yeah.
Exactly. If we look at UK, it's much more expensive.
Yeah, it's very cheap for international students, and there are certain other facilities available for international students like health insurance. And there is another important subsidy by the French government, which is CAF. So you apply, you got a room or an accommodation in a university hostel or any private accommodation. So you applied for a subsidy to the French government, that is CAF. So you will get reimbursed your amount up to 50%. It depends where you live in France. Yeah.
Yes, I also got benefit from CAF, so it is indeed a great opportunity for students because it saves a lot of money. Moving forward, I would also like to ask about generally a living expense per month for a student who is coming from outside France and someone living in one of the major cities of France, for example, Paris, Lyon, or some other main cities. What would be monthly expense for a very basic living? I'm not asking like very luxurious, but just to keep things easy and comfortable.
Yeah, there are basically two types of accommodation. One is the university accommodation, and second one is the cruise accommodation. So if a student lives in a cruise accommodation, he is entitled to get cheap rent as compared to the university accommodation. So it varies from cities to cities. Let's say, for example, for the Paris, it costs around 500 euros to 700 euros a month. And if you got CAF amount, then it will reduce to 350 or maybe 300. It depends on the area which you live. And secondly, for different cities of France, like Lyon or Marseille or Montpellier. It's a good city. So the average rent varies from 500 to 600, but I suggest everyone to apply for a cruise accommodation that is available to all international students, but you have to apply through the French government website, and the last date is almost at the end of May every year. Yeah.
And what about the general expenses? Like for example, for you, how much your all expenses are in 1 month, including groceries, food, and everything? Like on average, if someone is coming, what should be their monthly budget for expenses?
Yeah, for an estimate, I suggest that everyone should have an estimate of approximately 250 euros a month for its grocery. Flexible amount is 250 euros. Yeah, it may be increased or decreased depending on your diet. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, and I would also want to know more about the opportunities in France, for example, part-time jobs. So someone who can't speak French or doesn't know anything about French language, what are the options for them to work, or there are no options at all?
Well, that's a good question. Uh, Basically, anyone who wants to come in France, I recommend everyone to learn the language at least up to the A2 level, because it's really difficult to survive without the language. So I suggest that everyone should take some course from Alliance Franchise or any other online course before coming here, because you have to deal with everyday life. You have everyday communication with everyone, or even with the university or public officials. So better to learn French, or at least do some online course to do some learning habits or daily learning abilities there. Yeah.
All right. And after graduating in France, are there any jobs for students who are not very good in French? Like, for example, they can speak a bit, but not very qualified in the language. So, are there any opportunities for them? Is it very difficult for them to get into the job market?
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities here, but during your master's or during your bachelor's, whatever you do, I suggest that you should learn language within your studies, and then you can apply for different opportunities on LinkedIn, Indeed, or any other job platform. You got after your studies, you're eligible to get a post-study job search visa for 1 year. And you can also register on Pôle Emploi, which is an official job bureau of government of France. So you can apply, or you can get a job if you are proficient in French or in language. So it's better. Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. I agree with that. Yeah.
And do you have any examples of people who were not really good in French language but still got jobs after graduating? For example, I graduated in France and my French is very weak, but I still got into the job market. Do you know anyone, or are there any possibilities in that case as well?
Yeah, in the IT companies, it's really possible. Yeah, it's in the IT companies, they prefer students from any background, whether they are proficient in French or not. I have known some of my friends who are working in Siemens company. It's a multinational mobile phone company, and some food manufacturing companies, Danone, and some other agricultural investment companies. So they can get job if they apply or continuously to the job companies websites. I will give you an example of mine. I was not proficient in French language, and I got an internship in a multinational company in Paris, which is an agriculture investment company. So if you struggle to find, you can find a job here, or you can find an internship which is paid in Paris. So one can find an internship or a job if he or she struggles to get links. Another option is to look for networking, or it will help a lot to get a job or internship. Yeah.
All right. And regarding the French weather, how do you like France so far regarding the weather
Yeah.
and everything? Are you having a good time in France?
Yeah, weather is really awesome, and you enjoy a lot because it's a sun in France. So anyone who belongs to Europe, knows the importance of sun and weather. So there are some cities like Montpellier or Marseille or Bordeaux, which are on the southern coast of France. So they have good weather than Paris. So it's
I used to be in the north, in Lille, and it was very cold in the winters and rainy all the time in the
yeah.
September, October season. But in the summers, I think it's really nice there as well, even in Paris. My next question is about the permit. So a lot of people are looking for long-term permanent residence as well in France. So can you share a little process about that? Like how many years people must complete, or what are the requirements for people who are looking for this scope as well?
Yeah, there is an option if you got a job here of 3 months at least, and you got a salary which is approximately 1.8 times the minimum wage, which is approximately 3,500 euros a month. So you got a passport talent visa, which is a 4 years visa, but it's given on 1 year, and you can renew it every year. So you have to, if you completed your 4 years on passport talent visa, you can apply for a 10-year residence card, and if you continue towards more, and then you can apply for a passport subject to your language proficiency of French. Yeah.
4 years, 10 years, and then you are eligible to apply for the nationality.
Now, 4 years, and after 5 years, you can apply for passport directly.
Okay.
4 years, after 4 years, you can apply for a residence card if you want, but after 5 years, you can apply for a passport. So there are different categories of passport talent visa. It depends. For example, if you're a PhD student here, then you can get a passport talent researcher visa. And if you are an employee here, or you got a job here, then you can get a passport talent visa, which is a working visa. And if you want to start a business here, you can also get a passport talent business creation visa here. But you have to show an amount of approximately 30,000 euros to invest. So there are different categories of passport talent visa, and another important category is the passport talent artist visa. So if you're an artist, or you have some skills to show, or you can contribute to the economy of France, and then you can get that visa as well. Yeah, there are different categories of this passport talent visa.
That sounds interesting. I didn't know this information either, and that's the reason I wanted to ask all this, because I get a lot of comments and messages on the social media regarding all this, and it's really nice of you that you have explained everything in so much detail. And I aim to help a lot of people so that they can go further in their further studies, and if they want to look for different options apart from Australia, USA, and UK. France is one of the good countries visit where there's a lot of support for students as well. I remember in my semester there was food drives as well for students, and a lot of your groceries and everything can be saved. Like you can save a lot of money from those groceries as well, because there's a weekly
distribution type
in which you get a lot of things.
Yeah, in Paris there is also a distribution here, and you can register for distribution. If you're a student here, you can register for these distributions, and you can get weekly groceries here. So it saves a lot of money as well. I'm not sure about the Lille or any other city. I think Paris, there are a lot of distributions here.
Thank you so much, Salman, for your time, and I hope this video will be helpful for all those who are seeking for these answers. And I wish you all the best for your studies and your
Yeah.
internship as well. So all the best.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All the best. And I don't hesitate to ask any queries or questions if anyone wants. So I suggest everyone to come to France and work. It's a good destination because of the fact that you got a Schengen visa here and you can move elsewhere around if you want. And it's an easy process to get nationality as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is another advantage that you can learn French. It's an international language. So there are a lot of organizations which prefer French. For example, United Nations, which has a French language as an official language.
Exactly. In Switzerland, in Belgium, and even in
Yeah.
Canada, it's a very important language. So if you do well in French, you can be resourceful in other countries as well. So thank you so much and have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Sorry.
So I'm back after the interview. I hope you liked the interview and most of your questions would have been answered. There are few other aspects which we couldn't cover in the interview, but during our off-air discussion, I was able to come up with some more information for all of you. So he shared that if you apply in a public university in France, your visa chances go up to 95%. So if you are looking to study in France, then try to go for public universities rather than the private ones, because the visa process is much easier for the public universities. Moreover, he recommended that you shouldn't mention about your family members in France. For example, if you mention that your father or your uncle is working in France during your interview process, that can really hurt your chances for the visa. So it's better you shouldn't mention anything of that sort, and you should show your roots in Pakistan, so that will make your case much stronger. That's one of the recommendation I would like to give, which wasn't covered in the video. And moreover, some other options for you in Europe could be Italy. Italy is an amazing destination for students to study, and they also have a scholarship program which you can explore. Apart from that, Austria is another country which is really attractive for students. The issue with some of the countries like Germany is that you have to deposit a big amount in the bank, and that amount is paid in the start of the program or your degree, and that is close to 35 to 40 lakh rupees in, if I'm talking about PKR. But that is something expensive, even though the German education is free. But this fund which you have to show is kind of very tough for some students. So overall, I hope you like the France video, and I will come up with more videos. If you have more questions, feel free to comment in the comment section, and hopefully I can bring more guests so that I can answer your queries in a better way. So keep watching, and thank you for all the support.